Hello, everyone. Welcome to another podcast session. In our session today, I would like to talk to you about a tool that I had been personally using for many years now. This is something that I use when I find myself caught up in a vicious circle of worry or stress. So, if you think there's something that's bothering you for a while and you find yourself a bit stuck, you could use this tool as well. Today, I will not just share the 3 steps that this simple tool includes, but also I'll give you an example from my own personal life and how it has been helping me. Uh, it's actually a diagnosis tool, which means it just helps me diagnose what's really is at play. It may not really give me a solution, but just one part of what is actually the cause of it. For the solution, I connect back to my coach and would try to figure out what best can be done. So today, I would like to share this tool with you. There's actually no specific name of this method, so I'm just using this term tool, a coaching tool. Now, you can do this along with me while you're listening to me, or you can make a note and can do it whenever you feel like. So there are just 3 steps in it. The first step is we list down the main domains of our life. So it can be your health, your career, the fun and happiness you're having, how satisfied you are with your life, your relationships, and something about yourself. So you can list down the domains of your life. Once you list them down, like you just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first can be your career and health. Just your health, which can be both your physical and mental health. Second can be your career. Third can be related to wealth and money. Fourth can be relationships, which can be either your family, your immediate family, your spouse, your partner, or it can be your parents, your sibling, or the significant other. Whatever you want, just list down the domains of your life. That's step 1. Step 2 is, once you list them all down, towards each of these domains, just write what are the conditions you have set, only after which you will feel successful or satisfied in it. So, for example, if I give you my case, many years ago, almost, I guess, 10 years ago, 10 to 12 years ago, there was a time in my life when I was attending interviews and I was looking for a job. So there were several interviews I attended, both in person and also over the phone, but I was not really able to be successful in any of it. So I was rejected and I couldn't make it. So I was extremely stressed. And beside being stressed, I was also extremely feeling very low on my self-worth. And only then, with the help of my coach, when I did this, used this tool for the first time, I wrote the domain as career. And within that, when my coach asked me to list down, what is it, the condition that you have set here for you to feel successful or satisfied, I was amazed of what I wrote, because I had listed down close to around, I guess, more than 5 conditions, which consciously I was not even aware. It's only after I had written it down, I realized that there were so many conditions that I've attached to my career, and that was something which was a narrative. I mean, the inner stories that I was telling myself, and why I was feeling all the more low, having a very low self-worth and low confidence in myself. So, like, like as I gave an example, I chose career, and within which I was not really uh, being successful in any of the interviews that I was attending. One of the condition was to be selected in the first round itself, because very early on in my career, I never failed a single interview. So somewhere in my head, perhaps it was some overconfidence or kind of a condition that I had built, that failing an interview means a major failure. So little did I realize that a lot of time has gone in from my first job to my fourth job, and maybe there was some other reasons why I was not making it. It couldn't be just my performance. Maybe the role was not suitable, or the organization couldn't afford the pay package I was at. It could be anything. But because I had set these conditions underneath the career domain, and not just one, but maybe several of it, I realized how much of my inner critique was at play. And I was constantly criticizing myself, feeling low, and feeling unworthy of anything. And no wonder the result outside were equally negative. So the step 2 is where whichever domain, if it's a one domain of your life, whether it's career, wealth, money, partner, relationship, family, your health, whatever, or one specific domain, or in general, all of it, the step 2 is you list down the conditions you have attached to these domains. Write it in statements, and write the condition which you feel you have set it for yourself, that unless you achieve this, you won't feel successful or satisfied. So this particular step 2 will actually give you a deep insight into the innumerable difficult conditions we often set for ourselves unconsciously, even though our conscious mind is not doing it. And underneath the weight of this unrealistic expectations, we constantly suffer. So the step 3 is, now having listed down the conditions, having standard is not wrong, friends, but we also need to evaluate what we are setting ourselves up to. So the step 3 is looking at the domains and the conditions you have set, now evaluating it with the 3 filter. The third step is another 3 filter, which is ask yourself, is it helpful? So whatever condition you've written there, is it really helping you in any way, or is it hurting or harming you? I mean, is it really benefiting you? The second condition is it realistic? So sometimes when we look at it and filter it through the right approaches, we will get to learn that how we've been self-sabotaging ourselves for a very, very long time. So the first thing, just check, is it helpful? The second filter is it benefiting you, or is it harming you in any way? Third is the condition that you've set, is it realistic or unrealistic? So if you pass these conditions through this 3 filter of helpful, unhelpful, benefiting you or harming you, realistic or unrealistic, toward the end of this simple 3 step, you will realize that most of it you may even just strike it out, and will get to learn what exactly is now the reason you're living in constant state of stress and overwhelm. And perhaps to literally liberate yourself and to get yourself out of this stressful situation, the most easier way would have been to just let it go. Well, friends, that's all for today. As I shared, try these 3 steps. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a diagnosis tool which helps you identify the conditions you have set and whether these conditions are helpful, unhelpful, benefiting, harming, realistic, or unrealistic. Your answers, once you do this, will be equally as insightful and informative as you do this. And you never know, you may even just find a solution to something that you find yourself stuck in. The same way I find myself many years ago. In fact, I do this even today. The conditions are different now, but I find this very practical and very informative. And I also urge you to practice it anytime you find yourself stuck in your life. Good luck with the practice, and I'll talk to you soon.